Yo, salute nation. What's the deal?
What's going on,
Welcome.
people?
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raiders. We have a really good show for y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, yo. Do it. Infamous. Raider Rundown. Appreciate you, my guy, Cheeto Linus. Appreciate you, guy, Chris. Protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing? My guy, Lunatic Raider, Raider League.
Hey, we already know.
What up, Lo? What is good? What is deal? None other than our guy. Yo,
What's going on with the people, man? Good morning to everybody, man.
good morning. Good morning. Salute to the nation. Appreciate everyone already here. Welcome to another installment of Good Morning Raiders. We're your hosts. I'm Jay Raider. It's my guy, the Raider Rundown, in the building in full effect, y'all. We have a really exciting show for y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate everyone already pulled up. Salute. Just really quick. This is a pre-recorded show. We needed to go ahead and go on a little bit earlier for our guests. We do have a very special guest. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in our guest.
Yep.
You know this man from the 50-50 show, Around the Shield, and the Raider War Room. He goes on with our guy, Pharaoh,
Mhm.
805, and Chris Protect the Shield. None other than the Severe Raider. What it do,
Yeah.
my guy?
Also gotta put it in, man. Man,
What's
one
good? What's
one
good?
fifth of TRS as well, man.
Yes,
One
sir. Yes,
fifth of
sir.
TRS, man. This man's
Creation
everywhere,
compliment,
bro.
man. Yeah, he everywhere
Yes,
with it, so
sir.
he already know what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What
Yes,
it do,
sir.
my
Yes,
guy?
sir.
Hey,
I'm
appreciate you
good.
pulling up.
Oh yeah, man. No doubt. Anytime I get an invite from y'all, man, I gotta make sure I come through and support, man. I appreciate the grind y'all been on, man. So it's an honor for me to be invited on, man. To be honest with you.
Oh
No, of
yeah,
course, bro.
we've been trying to do it for a quick minute. I know your schedule's tough, and honestly,
Yeah,
I do appreciate you, making some time for us and chopping it up and talking some Raiders football for sure. Um,
definitely.
Really quick, let me go ahead and just kind of go over some particulars. If you guys are new, make sure you guys head on over and hit that like and subscribe button on both channels. It does go a long way to go ahead and support the show. We appreciate everyone pulling up on this Saturday morning with us, and we know there's a lot of choices for shows, but you guys pulled up with us,
Factual
so we
hours,
really
man.
appreciate you guys for sure, 100%. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. But really, I think the breaking news, real quick, and we hardly break news here, but it just literally just happened a little bit ago. Um, Derek Carr retires from football.
Yeah. Yeah. Very. Crazy.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. This is per Ian Rappaport. Shout out to Ian Rappaport. But after Derek Carr's injury, he decided to go ahead and officially retire from football. Because that injury looks like it's gonna go ahead and take him out from the 2025 season. We talked about it before. We most likely didn't see the Saints bringing back Carr, and so this is probably one of the best choices he can probably go ahead and do. So, he was with us for 9 seasons. How do y'all feel about that?
I mean, first of all, Samir and I already kind of talked about it in the chat. This is going to be a very funny episode because a lot of things Samir and I already be discussing already. So it's going to be funny. But as far as this for me, bro, look, 9 years, he come back, sign a 1-day contract as a Raider. I'm cool. It is what it is. I mean, it only fits, right? He might as well do that. Now, I don't want to get critical on this day because if I start getting actually critical, there's going to be some people in the chat. We failed him, and the Raiders didn't do right by him, and drop that shit now. We ain't gonna do that now, bro. It was 9 seasons of cool, and all right, bro. We had a nice little quarterback that was all right. It wasn't Gardner Minshew like we just saw and all the extra. Fine, but somebody name me the biggest accomplishment. What's the biggest accomplishment in his Raiders tenure? Let me know off the bat. And everybody in the chat, the crickets. I guarantee you ain't nobody in that motherfucker. Nobody's telling me anything. When he beat the Chiefs that one time in a regular season game, stop it. All right, bro. Like at the end of the day, bro, let's understand this was cool. He come back. He's a Raider. That's fine. But he not in that upper echelon room of some of the quarterbacks that we done had. He's not, bro. Let's just keep it a bean. He's not even in where, bro, Gannon has more success. And Gannon was here a shorter time. It wasn't even drafted by us, dog. So come on, bro. Let's just got to keep it a bean. So again, fine, sign the contract 1 day, keep him a Raider, but that's where it is for me.
What about you, Shedeur? What are your thoughts on Derek Carr and him retiring and all that?
Yeah, man. Like anybody that watches me, they kind of know I'm usually the guy. I know I talk a lot of shit. I crack a lot of jokes, and I piss a lot of people off. But today, with Derek Carr retiring, shit ain't about to change, man. This the motherfucker is. It's like, yo, man, this has got to be like, look, this has got to be one of the softest moves. Look, I'm not like I understand math, unlike our president, right? And his explanation they reporting, the math ain't mathing. So first off, his shoulder is hurt. His shoulder was so hurt that he didn't tell the team the entire offseason up until the last minute when they're about to get ready for the draft, putting the team in a very precarious situation, right? So now, like a lot of people speculated the injury was fake. And then, of course, he goes on stage and does a sermon saying his injury is real and the team knows about it. So now the injury is real, right? Confirmed the injury is real. But the reason that he's retiring is because he doesn't want to go on IR and rehab for 6 months. So rather than continue to play football, because he doesn't want to be away from football and IR, he decides to retire. Like that don't make no sense. Like if you still want to play football, just go on IR, get yourself together, rehab, do whatever you need to do, and then come back. But rather than do that, you retire. Like one of his idols, he's always talks about is Kobe Bryant, right? We all remember Kobe rupturing his Achilles on the court, walking to the free throw line, knocking down the free throws to put the Lakers to the playoffs, and then walking off the court on his own power, and then going through one of the toughest rehabs of any injury you have to go through, which is an Achilles tendon injury, which saps your athleticism. Very difficult to come back from.
And he crazy as fuck.
And he returns. And he returns. Right. But rather than do similar to a guy he claims is one of his idols, he just ups and leaves football. It's like, man, I don't want to. For 9 years, we heard all the excuses for Derek Carr. We didn't do Derek Carr right. So then Derek Carr lands in an ideal situation with a coach he's familiar with, with a team that has a good defense, with a team that has two good weapons, a good running back, a good tight end, and the tight end he knows in Foster Moreau in the weak division. And what does Derek Carr do? Still does not produce, and they run him out of town even faster than we did. So, look, I don't want to hear no more excuses about this dude. He was a mid quarterback, and the only reason we worship him like we do is because we went through years without having a quarterback that was even mid. So when you go through that and you get a mid guy, it seems like he's just way better than that. He was never that good. Never that good.
Yep. Hey, to echo that point, bro, for all the West Coasters, y'all know it. Everybody probably done seen it, bro. That documentary with Kobe when he tore his Achilles and you watching him rehab and come back, dog, that's some of the greatest piece of sports media I've ever fucking seen, dog. Like that shit right there, bro. Like this, that's what like really being that prime athlete and having that mentality really is, dog. If you watch it, if you've never seen it, go watch it, dog. That should have put you in the mood to do whatever you're doing, dog, for work. You go ready to kill that shit if you watch that. But hey, look, like Shedeur said, bro, it was so down for so long. When we got Derek, it was like, yes, you know what I mean? We finally got some. Now, look, let's keep in mind, bro. After 2016, I'll keep it a bean. After 2016, bro, we thought we had one. Yeah. I ain't gonna cap. We did. Yeah. And when we paid him in 2017, everybody was like, okay, that's a smart move because he just had that good ass season, right? Yeah. Cool. And this is where I always get people where my problem lies and where you can all boil it down. We paid Derek, and at the time, this motherfucker was a top 5 paid quarterback, correct? Yeah. He was a top 5 paid quarterback. We didn't get that type of play. We got top 15 quarterback play. I can't pay you top 5 quarterback money, and I'm getting top 15 play. And guess what resulted in that? All right, cool. Now there ain't enough bread to give Khalil Mack fucking money when we should have gave him the contract. Hindsight, right? Now you look at, because guess what? Even with Derek getting his bread, who did we say was the best player on the team still? It wasn't Derek. We said it was fucking Khalil, bro, at the time. Yeah. So there it was. Amari got traded the year after, blah, 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 whatever the case, bro. You brought in a coach that believed in it. Bro, how many coaches this man done had that said we believe in Derek Carr and believe we're going to build around this man?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, bro.
All to their detriment. All to their detriment. Ain't a single coach that has said I believed in Derek Carr that has survived. Not one of them.
Now, I mean, look. Now he does have a little grace because he had, bro, the amount of Raider bullshit this man went through is wild. So I give him a tad bit of grace on certain things because I'm like, yeah, bro, you went through some shit, but. At the same time, bro, I keep telling people, if I'm paying you top 5, bro, you gotta elevate the squad. I'm not saying this man is Josh Allen, but I saw Josh Allen with Khalil Shakir, Publix workers, and a freshly drafted fucking Keon Coleman. And what did he just do, bro? That's what a quarterback that elevates the squad does, bro. That's just plain sight.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts.
And it's and it's a situation where it's like you want, like, we tried to support Derek Carr, right? Because like you said, coming off that 2016 season, like Derek Carr, man, was balling. But then what do we do? Then what do we do, right? At the behest of Derek Carr, we did not bring back Bill Musgrave. We hired Todd Downing as our offensive coordinator, right? Yep. Because of how close he was with Derek Carr, and because Derek Carr was kind of pushing that narrative out there, and then what happened? The house of cards comes tumbling down. So he played a part in his own demise.
I agree. People forget this shit, bro. Like we just like to brush and breeze past shit like this. Like, nah, bro, like that is part of it. Bill Musgrave was fine. All of a sudden, oh man. And what, bro, we just saw happen with Aaron Rodgers. He wanted fucking Hackett. Because he's his friend. And that shit never works. That shit don't work. It didn't even work for a Hall of Fame quarterback. And we try, and now we breeze past that this man did that, and we're surprised it didn't work. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I like Derek Carr, right? But even me, who, is a fan of him, at some point I was like, you know what, we need to move on from him. He's not the one. He can never get us past that certain plateau. It's just either barely making the playoffs or not making it at all, and having those, mid seasons. So I give him his flowers for being a trooper and being with us for 9 seasons and rocking the silver and black. But aside from that, I think this is probably the best move for him. I don't know if the passion's still there for him, to be honest with you. From knowing, 'cause I live with the Saints fan, they ain't feeling them either. So,
bro, they were celebrating on the timeline.
I'm pretty sure they're celebrating right now. I haven't gotten Mikey's take on it, but I'm pretty sure she's for it, bro.
See,
my God.
But look, that's the difference between Raiders fans and Saints fans, right? Saints fans, they've seen great quarterback play recently. They've seen it. So when Derek Carr rode up in there, it didn't take them but 4-5 games to be like, oh nah, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. It took us 8-9 years.
That's such a good point, bro, because it was very quick for Saints fans when he first got there, when they was like, hold on now. This ain't what the fuck I'm used to seeing. All right,
exactly.
I'm used to seeing some real good shit, and now you come in and this is mid, and they knew it immediately, right? So I knew it was time for DC. Everybody know Papa Rundown, bro. Papa Rundown. Sometimes he get them Raider blinders on, bro. He get them goggles on sometimes. So for Derek, he one of them. Like with Derek, bro, he was defending him to the death. But that Pittsburgh game where he threw that pick to Hunter Renfrow, his last game. Papa Rundown was like, yeah, I can't do this shit no more. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's done. It's done. If he's saying that, it's over, bro. It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. But, oh, yeah. I mean, look, again, I hope he, has a good retirement. I think this is probably the best move for him to go ahead and just move on to the next chapter of his life,
He's still getting 10 mil out the deal. Shit, he's straight.
Yeah, if they do, if the organization decides to go ahead and bring him back for one day and do a retirement, I'm all for it. If they don't, I'm not gonna even protest. I'm not gonna go, talk some shit. It's not even like that, Even if I like DC through, he's a great guy, but
that's Mark.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's on Mark, bro. That's on Mark. That's not on Pete. That's on Mark.
Yeah.
And look, we got. And look, we'll finish it with here because Derek Carr is a good person. I don't want to make like he's a bad person or a bad guy. He tried to do the right things when he was here. The team, obviously there's a lot of turmoil with this team, especially that last year with Gruden, where he had the Gruden stuff, then the Ruggs stuff. I think he handled all of that stuff great. He's a great family man. I know, him and his wife just recently had a loss, so I'm sure he wants to be home with her and help her raise the kids and continue to continue to do that. Just be a good father and a good husband. So I hope he enjoys that aspect of his retirement, and maybe later on he can come back and do some broadcasting or something like that. But in terms of playing quarterback, I think he it's ran his course, and I appreciate what he was. I appreciate what he tried to do. I appreciate what he tried to do.
And see, look, this is, I'm glad you ended off like that, because at the end of the day, bro, that's why I love how we do shit. At the end of the day, there was nothing personal about what we said, right? Nothing about his personal life or anything like that. This is all strictly football. As far as the person, dog, he's a great person. He handled everything how he's like you said he's supposed to handle it. And of course, love to him and his family for the loss. I mean, that's it's tough, bro. I know people go through that. Things of that nature, man. So, much love. But at the end of the day, man, it's all football. That's all we talking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got to bring it up. I mean, he was with us for such a long time. So again, we wish Carr all the best for sure. But moving on to our next topic here. I wanted to bring this up. Brady on Shedeur. Cap or no cap? There was an interview done earlier this week with Logan Paul, and they brought up the elephant in the room on Shedeur. So, his response is very questionable, and you can tell he was kind of caught off guard a little bit because he kind of had to think things through. I do have the clip, and I'm going to go ahead and air it for everybody really quick, but I definitely kind of want to chop it up real quick regarding this particular topic. Let me go ahead and pull that up. There we go.
Talking about going late in the draft. Elephant in the room. Shedeur Sanders. What happened, Tom? Why did he go so late in the draft?
I mean, it's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or
Skip Bayless says
that.
otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever the fuck they want and get away with it.
Crazy.
It's kind of unfortunate because there actually used to be a lot of integrity in media, and there's way less now because everyone needs crazy voices to get heard, and it actually probably hurts a lot of relationships, which is not the goal of broadcasting. It should be to develop and cultivate and solve problems, and rather than the critiques, I want people to offer solutions all the time. So nobody knows, and I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
All right. What do y'all think? Cap or no cap?
I let Severe start on that one.
Yeah, right. That shit don't even sound. That shit don't even sound believable. Yo, look, all we've been hearing all off season is Mark Davis. Like, first of all, this motherfucker a whole expression changed when he's like a Shedeur Sanders. His face instantly, it was like, oh shit, like oh shit, and then he get the cussing and shit. That's how I know you lying. The media know what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah.
Like all we've been hearing from Mark Davis, the owner of the fucking team, so if you want to say drop the F-bomb, is that Tom Brady is being in here, and part of why he's being brought in here is to help us evaluate the quarterback position. That's one of the main reasons. Mark Davis like, yo, I'm talking to Tom Brady every fucking day, asking him shit. Spy Tech, his boy that he's known since Michigan, the guy who was in Tampa Bay with him, who they would every Tuesday have meetings breaking down film of the opposition of the team they're going to play that week, talking about personnel in the NFL. At no point did Tom Brady say, or did they say, oh, no, Tom Brady, what do you think about this quarterback that you've been working with for years? At no point they asked him a question. Come on, bro. That shit don't even sound believable. And you expect us to believe this shit? And part of the reason, look, and he's talking about the media. Part of the reason the media is so fucked up. First of all, in the Reagan administration, they got rid of a law that kind of mandated that the media was fair and even and balanced. So you had to tell both sides of the story. That was eliminated by the Reagan administration. And then we have motherfuckers like you coming on here and feeding us bullshit when it's undoubtedly false. So part of the reason why the media is fucked up is because people get on there and tell fabricated ass stories and expected us to believe it. And know what? There is a large segment of the population that will just take what he says and say, well, Tom Brady said he wasn't involved.
Thank you.
Well, of course that's what he's going to say, because she's trying to save fucking face, because he knew that was supposed to be his guy, and he let his guy fall to the 5th round. So maybe rather than saying like, you know what, I don't even want to talk about it, no comment, I don't want to get into that, I'm just happy he was selected. No, now is his opportunity to earn his stripes in the league and prove everybody wrong. Say some shit like that, but don't come in here and feed me this bullshit, bro, because
I wasn't involved.
Come on, man.
We're starting the relationship off rocky with me, dog. We're starting the relationship off rocky with me. I'm not saying that I'll fire him or whatever, but I'm echoing what Severe is saying, bro. For me, don't sit up here and blatantly lie to me like I'm fucking stupid. Like, come on, dog. And you want to know how I knew how he was lying? When he started going hopscotching around the fucking world about the media for 5-10 minutes, and then all of a sudden wanted to come back to the topic. That's how I know your ass is capping, bro, because you wanted to dive into the media and how everybody's bullshitting. Bro, nobody care about that. Stay on topic, dog. Now, let's stay on topic. You talking about you wasn't part of no evaluation process. That's not what the fuck we heard in the owners meeting. That's not what that's not what Mark told us, right? Secondly, you wasn't part of no evaluation process. Then why in the fuck am I hearing that you like Cam Miller's touch and release and footwork? And why the fuck am I hearing that? If you wasn't part of no evaluation process, you should know that. If you wasn't part of the process, that's what I'm saying, bro. Don't get up here and feed us bullshit like Severe saying, bro. We know what the deal is. You didn't want to
Yeah.
select him. It's fine,
Mhm.
right? That's fine. We moved on. It is what it is, dog. Like you don't want to take him for whatever reason, right? Okay, fine. We find one next year. That's your shit to bear, right? Like if he ends up working out for them, oh well. If he don't end up working out, cool, shoes, so be it. But like we saying, bro, don't come out here and just feed us blatant lies. You know what I mean? We all know you was part of the motherfucking process, bro. We know what time it is with quarterbacks, right? Like
Exactly.
if anybody's going to ask anything, they Pete even said it. I'd be a fool if I didn't ask Tom's opinion. Oh, bro,
Fact. That's on record, bro. That's
Pete
it's
said
on
this,
record.
dog. Like you act like we're not paying attention. Stop this shit, bro. Bro, come on, bro. Like I swear. So again, stop the blatant lies. It's fine. You didn't want to take him. We moved on, bro. It's not like I'm coming out here and shit. Jay and I wanted Shedeur, but it's not like I'm coming out here making 30 shows like, oh, Shedeur's doing this at Browns camp and this is happening. No, bro. Nobody gives a fuck no more. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck no more, bro. It is what it is. But you bringing this shit up is gonna make us say, like, all right, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yes.
Facts, bro. I mean, how can you expect us not to believe that you weren't involved when we know that you were intricately involved in picking Gino? You gave your fucking blessing, like the fucking trying to be the Don and shit. And now you come in on here and you're saying that you weren't involved in none of the, none of the scouting or anything like that. I mean, come on, bro. We know you were involved for whatever reason. You decided to go ahead and pass up on Shedeur, and it is what it is, and that's fine. I get it. He's under your brand, and you have to be PR friendly in regards to that. But you got to be ready with those type of questions that come your way, because he knows if you're gonna do a show like Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is gonna come at you with some type of question like that, raw and unfiltered. You got to be ready for those questions and be upfront. Be like, look, you know what? We just had other needs that were more important. We already have Geno Smith, and he's going to be our quarterback for the next 3 years. And we wanted to go ahead and fulfill different rooms that required more priority. Boom, done. And I'm glad he got picked up by the Browns. That's it.
Say less. Yeah. It is what it is.
Exactly. Look. After we got Geno Smith, right? Like all the reports came out, these motherfuckers was having like Justice League style meetings, like at Raiders facilities, like going over who they were going to pick, right? Like Voltron assembled, and they was like, oh, they were going over like, hey, you know what?
My God,
like who was the quarterbacks in free agency? Who was the quarterback? Like all of this shit came out already. So like he's depending on the ignorance of most people. It's like, oh well, Tom Brady says it's not true. I believe him. And know what? A lot of times that shit works. There's gonna be a lot of people out there defending, like, oh man, Tom Brady didn't know, he wasn't involved. Like, come on, man. Like either Tom Brady is lying, or as you said, Pete Carroll's a fool. Either Pete Carroll's a fool or Tom Brady's lying. It's one of the two. One of the two.
Come on, dog. Pete came out there, motherfucker, in the press and said, nah, bro, I'm gonna ask Tom. So Tom already, bro, you fucking up because you got Pete, and Pete ain't gonna lie. Pete gonna come out here, he gonna say whatever the fuck on his mind, bro. So you already fucked up, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. This motherfucker could never get the story straight. Spytek be saying one thing, and then Pete's like, "Oh yeah, me and John always talk," and then Spytek's like, "Nah,
See, I know what it is. John and Tom over there colluding, and Pete fucking it up, and he actually saying real shit.
Exactly.
Calm the fuck down, Pete. When they was over there talking about Genty and shit, and he was like, "Hey, calm down. You don't want to let him know."
Exactly.
John looked like, "Hey, bro, shut the fuck up." Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and bring that up, man, because it's just like it's like a what the fuck, like come on now, bro, like you don't need a cap, just be real about it, you know. Yeah, and if you don't really want to say the truth, just be like, look, we're interested. We had other needs, and that's it. Exactly. Don't say you weren't involved, because we all know that you were involved, bro. That's literally your unofficial title, head of football operations.
Exactly.
We know what quarterback whisperer is
quarterback whisperer, unofficial title, whatever you want to call it. We all know that. Yeah, exactly.
After he bought his ownership stake in the team, This motherfucker walked in the front door. They forced everybody in the fucking building. They wheeled motherfuckers up from their desk who was in wheelchairs to give this motherfucker a standing ovation. And I'm like, well, I didn't have shit to say. I didn't have no input in nothing that was going. Like, come on, dog.
Exactly. Oh man. All right, but moving on to our next thing and kind of getting into more Raider news. Rick and me camp started this week, so Ashton Genty, Jack Bash, Dante Thornton, Darren Porter, all of them, they're at minicamp right now. We had there's some other guests that got invited too, but let me ask you guys, and before actually I do that, I got some footage that I can go ahead and kind of share to everybody. Just some of the looks that these guys are going ahead and kind of presenting out, just working out and stuff.
You say that you can do it first.
So you got Tommy Miller right there.
Can you go back? Let me go back real quick because I ain't seen Tommy run no goddamn. Oh, that's him.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, it's not bad. That's not bad for a fresh quarterback. That shit ain't bad.
Yeah.
You got Pete there.
I do like the energy though. I was liking the energy.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, yo, I saw Pete going through one of the bags. Moving like that. But it was one of the G. It was one of like the assistants or something. I was like, hey, bro.
Then you got.
Yeah, shit.
I'm really impressed with that footwork.
Nah, his footwork is nasty, dog. I ain't gonna.
His footwork is great. Yeah, it's great.
That shit's smooth as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
His footwork is good right there.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you guys this: who do you guys think will be the standout of this camp?
Besh. Jack Besh. I think we just gonna continue to see more and more good things out of him, bro. I like y'all know me, brother. When we first got him, I was like, yeah, I like this dude. I really like this dude. I think we'll be able to scheme him up in different ways, man. Use him a lot of different ways, man. So I'm looking at Besh for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Severe?
I'm gonna probably go with Darian Porter. I mean, it's hard for it's harder for running backs and for linemen to really stand out just because it's like basically not non-contact. So it's the athletes are going to stand out. My initial response, I was going to say Dante Thornton, but I saw this motherfucker on the ladder and that shit looks terrible. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, people tapping to me, dog, like that shit was smooth, dog. Like,
nah, man. Look, I don't, because we know his number because he was one of the drafted rookies. So some of these rookie numbers, I don't know because, I looked on Reddish website and shit ain't adding up. That's all motherfucking forgot what it was. I think it was like 81 or something like that. Nah, somebody was wearing Alex Bachman number. And I was like, what? Unless Bachman got a hell of a tan, that ain't Bachman. That ain't Bachman. So I saw somebody in the number 3. I was like, that's for sure ain't Zamir. So I don't know what everybody's numbers are. There's a few dudes. I was like, number 3. I think number 81 on the ladder was looking smooth. There's another dude. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
so some of these dudes.
Bachman.
Nah. So I don't know who it was. So but Thornton number we got. And that motherfucker, that shit looked tragic. So I was like, look. So yeah,
I might be able to pull that shit up too because I think people need to see the context, man.
Oh yeah, that shit look bad, man. That shit look bad. Yeah, that shit look bad.
For example, Besh looked a little quicker than I thought he was, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm liking, but again, bro, people get mad when you don't automatically be like, oh my God, this is gonna be the greatest wide receiver in the history of the Raiders.
Yeah.
But it's like, dog, some of these dudes are not first and second round picks for a reason. There's shit to work on.
Look, and Thornton was one of my favorite picks. So I think on draft day I said that was my favorite pick. But look, I gotta keep it a buck. I saw this motherfucker on this ladder. I got a 6-year-old doing shit that's more smooth than this motherfucker. I'm like, God damn, bro! What the fuck was you doing?
Nah, I gotta find it. Where is that shit at, bro? I gotta find who's probably posting a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think for me it's Besh and
Yes.
Genty will probably be the ones that kind of stand out,
Yeah.
in this mini camp for sure. Besh is coming in with a chip on his shoulder,
Oh, yeah.
and he's gonna go ahead and put in that work, and we already saw what Genty kind of looks like. So,
I'll tell
I'm
you what
glad.
though. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm glad that these guys are there and they're, we're getting the work in already, and that's
Yeah.
super important for these rookies, man, for sure.
I want to see Genty on with some more pass work this little mini camp though. So I didn't see him running the ball like Severe said. Like, we're not gonna see too much of him running the ball until we get the pads on. But I want to see him work in the pass game right now, because that's really where some of the money. Again, everybody talking about the rush shit, but I need some receiving yards this year, so some of that money got to come there.
Yeah.
Fact.
Oh, I think I found it. Is this him?
You found it? Okay.
Oh, that ain't him. Hold on.
Okay. And then so everybody knows Genty signed his contract this week. Caleb Rogers signed his contract this week. I think Tonka Hemingway signed his contract this week. I think most of the rookies signed their rookie deals already, except for Darian Porter, Dante Thornton, and I forget there's like one more that hasn't signed as well. So I'm pretty sure those are going to be signed probably by Sunday over the weekend. So I'm not too worried about it, but for sure we already got Genty on lock, and he got a big payday for sure. So,
that's whatever. Needed that though.
Yeah.
We ain't got nobody sitting though, so that's where it's good. I mean, you got some other teams, you got some motherfuckers already sitting out.
Yeah, for sure. And then I know there's some people that got invited as well to camp. I think it was that quarterback from UNLV.
Haj Malik.
Yeah,
Haj Malik Williams
as well. Yeah. So they're working him out and seeing what if he can potentially make the roster, or just get brought on to the off season.
Yeah, we'll see what that looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
My shift might be starting in a minute. We over here waking up. Oh, I found it. I found it. Yes, sir. All right. Now, for context, we're gonna watch everybody go through and just watch the smoothness of some of these other people. Now, again, this is shorts and shirts, so really, like, it's not nothing that's too crazy. But at the end of the day, still, Dante's the first one.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, nah. Look at that. That's Tommy.
That's Tommy. That's down Tommy.
81. Who is 81 though?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Right, smooth.
Yeah.
And the catch was smooth too.
Actually. See my boy Bash after this right here, man.
There he is.
See, I like him. I think he got quick and stuff like that. But we gonna get some shit from him. But that Thornton rep could be a lot smoother, dog. That shit right there is a little choppy, man. It's a little choppy.
Way too choppy.
Definitely.
Some people are gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, they're nitpicking, man. They're just going through a fucking drill."
Bro.
What the fuck you think they're going through this drill for?
Exactly.
Bro.
That matters. That matters, man. Because you want to be able to move your feet without having extra movement out of your body. That way, if you want to quickly change direction, it's all hips and feet. So you can fool a guy, make him thinking I'm attacking your leverage, but bam, I hit this brake and I'm gone. Or I've leaned this way, my feet going this way. Your feet should be able to move independently. His feet everything's connected. So it's like, he's doing like a shit. Like, nah, bro, that's not what you want to, because then your body is telling everything you're doing. Yeah, you don't want that. You want your feet to do the movement, your body to tell lies. You don't want your body to tell what you're actually doing.
Like I was telling everybody, bro, like he's just got to get more fluid in some of these other type of routes, right? Like if I'm asking him to run a deep dig, if I'm asking him to run some of these other type of routes, maybe a comeback, a deep out, how fluid can you do that at times? And we didn't see that a lot during his college career. So we just need to continue to improve that. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Well, luckily for them, there's still more camps to come. So they still time to work on shit. For sure. You got you got OTAs coming up literally in 2 weeks, and then you got mini camp probably like the second week of June. So there'll be time. But let me ask y'all this real quick: who do you guys think will benefit the most from camp? Because we're talking about like improving and working on stuff. Who do you think will be who do you think will benefit the most?
Like in general, the camps or just rookie camp?
For this camp.
For this camp,
yeah.
It's hard for me to say it because as of right now, you're not gonna see anything from him for real. But I am of the mindset, bro, that Caleb Rogers is gonna compete for a spot. I'm of that mindset. And I think it's gonna be one of them guard spots. Bro, his energy. I like his energy, dog. Like he's got that energy about him. You feel what I'm saying? I really feel like if we put him next to JPJ, they'll thrive. Because it's all about continuity at the line and who's the best 5 fits at times, right? Like, of course, if you have the best like 5 talented most motherfuckers, then of course you're gonna put them there. But what's the fit, right? If I got a player that's maybe older, but I got this younger player, they're kind of comparable in my eyes, but I see that this dude, personality-wise, whatever the case, might fit better with who I got right here, I might roll that way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that just brings a little more nastiness to the line, in my opinion. So I think Caleb Rogers is going to benefit from the mental reps, from the mental side of things, and getting into camp and getting right.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Shedeur?
Yeah, man, just right from what I just saw, man, Deontay Thornton, man. He's a Deontay Thornton, man. But real talk, like we all hear about Tennessee's offense, and there's very limited route tree from their wide receivers. They're not asked to do a lot. So the fact that he's going to get like real legit NFL coaching from Chris Beatty, one of the better wide receiver coaches out there, very well respected. Just spent some time with an immaculate route runner in Keenan Allen. So I'm sure he picked up some stuff from Keenan that he's gonna be like, look, let me show you this. This is what some stuff I was working on with this dude, and some of the stuff he does. Let me help you get this right, and I'm sure that's gonna kind of just open up his game even more, because a lot of the stuff he probably has never been asked to do at all, like from the high school level to the collegiate level. Like nobody has like, can you run a 7-yard in? Like, why? But I run 4.3. Why are you asking me to run it in? Like, I ain't never had to do this in my life. And then Darian Porter, because just we all know Pete Carroll's track record with cornerbacks. He actually had a guy with a very similar story in Seattle with Richard Sherman, who was a converted wide receiver. Like he also only had 1 year of starting experience at the corner position, where he's picked up by Seattle. He turned into a Hall of Fame corner. I'm not putting those kind of expectations on Porter, but just having a guy like Pete there to kind of, hey, you know what? This is the kind of journey I've seen this already happen. Let me show you. I got the roadmap already. Let me show you the way. And Porter seems like a guy that's very coachable. Already has all the traits. Just putting the other stuff together.
I was just gonna say this too, and I don't even think this is a hot topic, but Porter is way more athletic than Richard Sherman too. I ain't gonna.
Oh, not even close. Not even close.
Leagues more athletic than Richard Sherman, dog. So like. Yeah. And he has the length, the same type of length too. So I'm like, bro, if he gets that, right? If Pete gets that same type of shit there, I think you can even have something. And this is hard because you don't want to put those expectations, right? You don't want to be like, oh yeah, he's Richard Sherman or nothing. But like, if you're projecting, and this is probably what they're doing when they drafted him, it's like, dog, he's more athletic than Rich. Like off rip, he's more. If I get what I got out of Richard Sherman to this dude. Oh, it's even, bro. I can take that shit even higher for real, bro. Like, he's got that type of potential for real.
No, facts.
No, I'd say Darian Porter too. I think he has the most to benefit from this camp. Like you said, going from wide receiver over to corner, it's a big step, and he's even said that he needs more work. He needs a little bit more time. And who else best to go ahead and help him with that journey? Pete Carroll, since he's already done it. So for sure. Yeah. And then, there'll be more time to improve for sure. Like we said, there's more camps down the road for sure. But let's move into our next topic here. What positions do you think the Raiders still continue to fill? Because we talked about it last week. There's still some questionable holes. I would probably say mostly on defense. Yeah. Who do y'all think that what positions will the Raiders continue to fill?
You can take it away, Shedeur.
Yeah.
I would say linebacker and wide receiver, especially linebacker is looking rough right about now, man. It is looking quite questionable out there. When it's like Burney, Amari Gaynor, Eichenberg, Lindenberg, Johannesburg, it's like it's looking sketchy. It's looking very sketchy right now, man. But the thing is, like the cupboards is pretty bare out there on free agency, man. The cupboards are pretty bare, so it's slim pickings right there, and they really didn't address it early on in the draft. Like at this point, you putting a whole bunch of pressure on these guys that really haven't seen a whole lot of playing time, especially when you look at, the Bernies and the Gainers and the Eichenbergs. We brought over a Landon Roberts. He's a veteran guy, seen a lot of PT, but linebacker is looking real sketchy. Wide receiver a little bit too, but at least we have, two good tight ends. We spent 3 picks really on wide receivers in the draft, 2 fairly early picks. And then we already have an established guy in Jacoby. So, I think we can kind of get by a little bit better with that. But the linebacking room is looking rough.
Man, hey, like my boy Severe said, Eichenberg, Lindenberg, Iceberg, Dinkelberg. We ain't got no goddamn linebacker. It's basically what that means, bro. We ain't got no linebacker right now, bro. Like for real, if Elandon Roberts goes down, unless, we knock on wood.
Yeah.
It's a wrap, dog. It's a wrap.
Yep.
Our only hope right now in the linebacker room is that Amari Gaynor progresses rapidly. Like that's the only hope for real. Like Burney is okay, but I don't see him making no big leap. We saw him already for 2 years. You feel what I'm saying? So I kind of think we know what that is already. Severe don't want to say it, but you better hope. Eichenberg.
I'm hoping. Look,
do something, dog. You gotta do something. Now,
look,
I'll be the first to admit, right? I think a lot of us saw Gaynor, on whatever that linebacker page is on X, and he was working out and shit. He looked good. I like the way he looked. He looked quick and all that. And I saw Eichenberg doing the same drills, and I was like, shit, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same, dog. That shit was definitely not the same. So I hope we can get something out of that, but I've already went into the mindset, bro. Like we're probably not going to be able to fill this position this year. We're just not, because whoever's left. I mean, I like Jawan Bentley. If you can get Jawan Bentley and he's on the market, if you can do that, I would see if we can take a swing. But other than that, it's like Kaiser White and shit. Is like, bro, like nobody that's really gonna move the needle this year. So we probably I've been preparing people on my channel, bro. I've been telling everybody. It's probably going to be a long – if our D-line not eating, it's going to be a long day down the middle of the field.
Oh, man.
Long day.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only that, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. We need a center field safety. Not only that, but we need a center field safety because I believe we got 2 box safeties right now. I believe both of them are better towards the line of scrimmage. Now, Palomar, you could say, all right, you can try to use him back there, but I don't think that's his natural position. You know what I'm saying? So, again, if our D-line not eating, that second level, they going to get torched, exposed, dog, down the middle field. And then we talking about not having a true center field safety either. Like, oh, yeah, bro. Like, if our D-line is not going to work, it's going to be a long fucking day, bro. And it don't even got to be a team that got hella superstars on the offensive side. If your offensive coordinator know how to scheme that shit up, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
They gonna scheme our ass to death, dog. I'm telling people right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think for sure. I think linebacker is definitely a position that we need to go after. We talked about it on the show with Farrell the other day. Severe, and that's definitely one of the positions that need to be addressed. I know Simmons is available. That might be a guy that we could potentially go ahead and
we got
take
Justin Simmons. I like it. That's
Yeah.
nice right there. Now
exactly.
I'm confident.
Yeah, you got Bentley out there as well. So, but again, it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings right now. So, if we're gonna pull the trigger on a free agent, or unless these guys are waiting for somebody to go ahead and get cut and free up and to hit the market, maybe that's what they're kind of leaning towards, and it looks like that because we haven't really done anything at linebacker, very very minimal.
Nope.
So I'm scratching my head at times. I'm like, what are we doing? What's the plan here? I'm not seeing it. So I guess the plan that's close to the
from Tampa, having those linebackers and coming to this shit got to be like going from riches to rags. I ain't gonna cap, dog, because he had Hall of Fame linebackers over there.
Yeah, man.
Now you got to fuck around and come to this shit. So it is not the same.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think safety is probably the other one that we might go ahead and keep adding towards that room for sure. Yeah, we definitely should. So obviously we'll see what happens, but still kind of staying on that in the same kind of general topic. There is some talk on potentially the Raiders going after certain dudes right now. Should the Raiders sign Jalen Smith, Clowney, or Gabe Davis as to the roster? Jalen Smith is currently at the rookie mini camp, so he's on there trying out. I know we ran with them before and revisiting that, I guess. Right? Clown just became available.
Working out with the rookies, or like what is the context of this?
Yeah, he's working out with the rookies. Mm-hmm. I'm trying out. Yeah, I'm trying out with the rookies.
That tells me everything I need to know on that one. So let's.
What
he on our team before?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah, pass on that. Yeah, that's fine. Respect to him, but my man out there with the 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds, we trying out, dog. Like he was in college when some of these motherfuckers was starting their high school career. If you want to be honest with it, for real, bro. So drop that. I'm not with that at all.
Yeah. What do y'all feel? Cloudy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, but depends how much he wants.
Yeah. Same. But see, but like I said, I mean, we kind of talked about this, when we had Jay on, man. Like, at this point, bro, it's time for Tyree to put up or shut up. All right. You're like, first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Tyree Wilson, if you hear this, run down some money. Because he placed a bet that you was gonna produce, and you let my man's down over here. You owe some money.
Let me down.
I owe some money. So it's time for him to put up or shut up, man. I don't want there to be any obstacle for him seeing as much training and playing time as possible. Even if we suffer on our defensive line, because I want to know once and for all, was this a wasted pick? I already feel it's a wasted pick. But I don't want any excuses out there when we cut this man to be, oh man, we never really gave Tyree a chance because every time we let Charles Snowden get ahead of Caleb. Like, bro, you getting beat out by Charles Snowden and Caleb Chase off the street. Like, these dudes is off the street. And you're getting beat out by these dudes, right? So I don't want to hear no excuses. So I want to give him as much playing time as possible for him to say either you got it or you don't. So I'm cool. I'm looking cool on Clowney, Jalen Smith, bro. The fact that you out here working out with these rookies.
Come on, man.
That's like that. That's like a former NBA player showing up to like a community college. Like, let me show y'all what I got. Let me show you what I got. Put me in the post against these. And drop these, he out here. Like, let me show you what I got. Nah, bro. Exactly. Let me show y'all what I got real quick. Like, man, hey, do you see him out there? Hey, man, the dude put up 30. He put up 35 on those 17-year-olds. Like, bro, what? I don't care.
Them
You know,
motherfuckers got to
so
do an Amazon shift the night
and,
after.
and look, but this lets you know one thing, right? We are in desperation mode. But the fact that we even could let this dude try out, it's like, bro, it's like when you ain't had you been striking out with the girls in a while. You're like, dang, like I'm on a drought. Like, let me call up Lisa. See, like Lisa, what you doing? Let me see what Lisa's doing. Right? That's what we basically doing. Like we hitting up Lisa at the like, nah, man, we already moved on from him, and now we're gonna bring him back. That's bad. That's bad, man.
You
So
only got one
we are
questionable dude right now that we putting all that faith in. We talking about Devin. Like that, he
exactly
questionable. Right? We already got one.
questionable.
So
Yes,
I don't know about adding another. Right? Like
exactly.
at least Jawan Bentley, Kaiser White, some of them, they played last year. So I'm like, all right, bro. Like at least I have film to go to. There's
exactly.
nothing to go to with Jalen Smith, bro. We hoping and wishing.
Exactly.
So I don't know about that one.
We keeping our fingers crossed on that shit for sure.
Yeah,
Facts.
bro. So,
100%.
There's no even that he stays healthy and knock on wood, but that's his major problem, staying healthy.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. But
Yeah,
with Clowney, I didn't even think about that. You 100% right. It's put a Prashetta. It's money time this year, bro. It's money time. There is no ifs, ands, or buts because for the organization, it's money time too. Because you either gonna have to decide we gonna pay Tyree or we gonna let this motherfucker walk. So I'm ready. 9 got to put up this year, bro, or it's a wrap. If he does, this D line is fucking monstrous. If he fucking does anything that we expect him to do, bro, nobody can mess with this D line at all.
Right.
But if he's what he was last year, it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a struggle, bro, because we're relying on it. This D line relying on him this year. It needs him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've given him so many chances, and first rookie year he was injured. Last year, he really didn't wow us. He really didn't do so much productive stuff, where it's really impressive, right? So this is year 3, and this is the thing, and we talked about it on the show on Thursday. He's done so much. I mean, to the fact that he actually worked out with Max, and Max was working with him at one point to try to improve his game, to do something other than a bull rush, and he hasn't done anything. He's always been that mid level. So I don't know if
something, man. Work the hands, bro. Something.
Nothing.
Yes.
I think it's just time for us to just stop making excuses for Tyree and go ahead and move on. If he can't do it this season, and with Pete, with all people, if he can't do it with him, he ain't never gonna do it.
The whole talk when we first got him was he needed 3 years. Remember, I think that was the whole talk when we first got him, was by the 3rd year is what we're gonna actually be seeing from Tyree, because we said the foot and then getting the whole season back from the foot. And now this is the whole off season, no getting back from injury, no nothing, no whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. So cool, bro. If I see something this 3rd year, by all means, bro, I'm all good. I'm straight. That's what we want. But it has to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. All right. How we good on time? We still good on time?
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. All right, I'm moving a couple more topics here. So let me ask you, how do you think the defense is going to look this season? Because we're saying, we know potentially what our trenches are going to do. We talked about linebacker. Well, what do you think our defense is going to look in general? Because I mean, last year we had so much expectation and we felt that the defense was going to do really good. And obviously with all the injuries and everything that happened, that wasn't the case. So moving on to this year and seeing how everything's kind of shaped out, how do y'all feel? How do you guys think the defense is going to look?
I mean, it's a lot of questions right now, right? Because first of all, we have the questions about, first of all, you said it, Tyree. There's a lot of questions around Tyree. We got the questions around, how does Christian Wilkins look back coming back from this foot injury? There's questions at cornerback because we got JB. We obviously he's a guy that's going to basically be locked into a starting position. But who's going to be that guy opposite of him? Is it Darian Porter? Is it Stokes? And we got questions, as you guys said, at safety. Humongous questions at linebacker. So just a lot of questions. We're hoping that Malcolm Kuntz can return to the form that he had on the back half of that previous season, where he was according to all the statistics, a top 10 pass rusher. Put that across from Max Crosby, and then that's potpourri for a lot of funk, right? That is potpourri for a lot of funk. If you got those guys screaming off the edge, that's gonna cover up a lot of mistakes in the secondary and at the second level as well. So you hope that those guys can produce, but there's too many question marks right now on this defense. You hope it's and I've said it before, right? Pete Carroll, he's a floor coach. He's not necessarily a ceiling coach. So he doesn't always get teams to their ceiling, but usually teams are going to be at their floor, right? So at least they're not going to sink below that floor. So I think the defense will be solid, but how good they will be, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. For me, I do think they'll be solid, but I've tried to get this thought out of my mind, but it's here. I'm like, we're probably going to take a tad bit of a step back, because we got young players in spots. We got new players in spots, right, that are replacing guys that have been here for a couple years. And I don't think it's going to be scheme-wise where we take it. It's just going to be the fact where it's going to be certain factors, right, that aren't allowing us to be as conducive as we were, right? So, again, we just said it. The D-line is the same, but basically this whole defense is relying upon that D-line. If that D-line is not eating and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, it's going to be a long day, bro. We don't have, unless Darian Porter comes out and he starts looking like Nnamdi Asomugha day one, it's going to take some time, right? It's going to take time. We understand that because he just
look like that too.
You feel what I'm saying? He just got into the role. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't know what he's going to be. Eric Stokes, he's mad inconsistent. Last year was his first year being full healthy. And I know people like JB, but I call spade a spade, bro. JB ain't gave us a full healthy season in 2 years. So say what you want. But you can't be our starting number one corner, and you can't give me a full 17. That just can't work. Feel what I'm saying? So from there, bro, we already shaky there. We already talked about the linebackers, dog. I don't think anybody that has a decent tight end is gonna do what the fuck they want to do against us that day. I'm just letting y'all know we have not solved that problem. Unless they want to say they want to put Jeremy Chin or Isaiah Palomau down in the box to be that extra linebacker and to say we want to cover the tight ends there, for sure. We can do that. But guess what? We don't have that center fielder. So that leaves us vulnerable in the back end. So then another question mark there. Who's going – Chris Smith? Is it going to be Trey Taylor, who we drafted last year? What's the word, right? What are we going to do back there? So all these questions that we have, I'm not saying the defense is going to be bad, but I do feel like we'll be middle of the pack damn near. Where it's we're going to have to add some more pieces into it. Because it seems like we finally shifted it to where we added more to the offense, and the offense looks a little bit more all right, bro, we're probably going to be leaning on the offense winning games as stopping the clock, right? Controlling clock and shit like that. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Same. I think we're going to be by middle of the road. We might take a step back because we are relying heavily on the trenches. I love our trenches. Our trenches are sick.
Oh yeah.
But aside from that, if they figure us out and they start, doing routes where they're just, releasing the ball quick before the rush comes in, we're cooked.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Like you said, if we're shifting guys or bringing Chin down in the box, and they have a pretty good receiver, they're going to kick us over the top. So, it's still a long off season. So there is potential to have players being added. So I'm not quick to, press the panic button quite yet, but I am a little worried. I'm not going to lie.
I would like to see, man. I mean, we don't know who emerges, right? Like I said, what if Darian Porter does end up coming out and he has a Tariq Woolen type rookie season, right? Where it's all right, well, shit, we got a corner. All right, so that helps, right? Or Amari Gaynor comes out of nowhere and he ends up being good, like we talked about before. Then at that point, you're like, all right, well, that solves that. That makes us even better. So somebody could emerge. So that could happen. We just got to wait till how camp unfolds and all the extra.
Yeah, facts for sure. So let's go ahead and kind of move into our final segment here. And we did it last week. But another edition of the Spotlight, meet our guests. So every show we like to go ahead and take some time, just chop it up with our guests and get to know a little bit about them. So for today's guest, it is Shedeur. So really quick, bro, let me go ahead and just kind of ask you, let's start from the beginning. How long you been a Raider fan for, bro?
Man, for it's like since I was a kid, man. My uncle, he got me into the Raiders. R.I.P. My uncle Dre. But yeah, man. What's crazy is like when I was a kid, like I had this pillowcase and had like all the teams on the pillowcase had all their logos. So the first team I liked was the Redskins because like the dude looked black. So I was like, oh man, this is a brother. Okay, cool. This is my team. So then but my uncle Dre he was a Raiders fan, man. So we started watching ball back then. Started talking about the Raiders, and so that's what got me like passionate about the Raiders. So man, yeah, man, since I was probably like 5-6 years old, man, I've been a Raiders fan.
Cool,
Fire, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this. I mean, every diehard fan has this, but who's your all-time favorite Raider, bro?
Tim Brown, man. Tim Brown is my all-time favorite, man. I remember there was one time I got into a fight with somebody because they said Jerry Rice is better than Tim Brown. Got to a physical fight, bro, in like middle school. Like I got to a physical fight with somebody. They was trashing Tim Brown. Like, oh, Tim Brown ain't good. He ain't this. I got to a physical fight with somebody, man. I never forget that. But that's my all-time favorite Raider, man. I think he's like one of the most, if not the most, underrated, underappreciated players in general, like regardless of position, regardless of teams. Like you look at the production he put up when he retired, like he was second or third on just about in every receiving category, behind Jerry Rice and some of these other guys. And that's with some of the worst quarterbacks you've ever seen in your life. All these other guys are on the list. They all have played with Hall of Fame caliber players. And Tim Brown did that at a time where it wasn't really a passing league. You had terrible quarterbacks. The Raiders were basically in the midst of their downfall, man. So just to put up the production he put up for as long as he put it up, and that's for a guy that had a pretty severe knee injury, like his second year in the league, and he was a guy coming out of Notre Dame, was a speed guy, right? It was a return specialist. So that was what he was known for. So to have a knee injury back then and to still come back into the league and not retire early because he doesn't want to rehab, so so I think that's quite that's quite an accomplishment, man. And then there was a time where people used to try to castigate him and say, oh well, you know what, he was only putting up production because he was the only player that the Raiders could throw to, so he was getting a large target share. And then the Raiders went through during the passing era, mind you, through like 5 or 6 years without having 1,000-yard receivers. Then you kind of look at like, well, damn, Tim Brown was the guy who was still doing this with nobody across from him. So like you got to kind of look at it differently now. So I think he's just extremely underappreciated, and by Raider Nation too. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, when he left, I was heartbroken, bro. But I appreciated his time with us and all that he did. And when we finally got like Jerry to like be the guy next to him, I was like, "Fuck, bro, we're gonna fucking ball out," and we did. Yeah.
I ain't never had my Tim Brown yet. I ain't had a Tim Brown. I gotta have one. I ain't seen one of those yet. I'll say that.
No,
all I got is Charles, man. That's all I have.
Yeah, not true. I mean, you had but Darren had a cup of tea. Amari,
I love Darren, but it was just the injuries, dog. But if Darren wasn't injured like that, dog, he was one of them ones. I feel like he could have been one of them Raiders running backs we talk about in there. You know what I mean?
If facts.
Sure. Let me kind of shift over a little bit and ask you kind of about content creating, right? So you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram. Everybody knows you for Around the Shield and the 50-50 show that you done with Farrell, and then now you linked up with 805 and Chris Protect the Shield, and you guys doing the Raider War Room, which is a little bit relatively new, and I love it because all you guys literally dissect game film like nobody else. And when I need a little bit of info, I tap into you guys for sure. But really, let me ask you kind of what inspired you to start like Raider content creating.
Yeah, man. First off, like it was never really my intention to even get into it. It was really crazy how it all started, man. Because my guy Pharaoh, you know, he had his show. He used to do it with Raider Ray, you know. So, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you go over and support both of those guys. Both of those guys, very knowledgeable dudes. But they would have call-in shows, man, and I would call in, just talk my shit, you know, just talk shit about the team. And then one time, no, Farrell, I think, and me and Farrell, like we linked up in Vegas like last year at the Steelers game, or the year before that, the year prior with Josh McDaniels, the Steeler game in Vegas. And, you know, we had linked up and, you know, we chopped it up and we exchanged info, exchanged IG and all that stuff. So one time he needed somebody to come in and fill in for the show, and he asked me if I can do it, man. So I kind of hopped on, man, and then, you know, I just been blessed that to be, you know, a lot of people like my takes, man, and they were willing to invite me on, man. Like another guy, shout out to Big Mike Raider. You know, I did matter of fact, one of my first videos on YouTube was like a Tyree Wilson like breakdown after we drafted him, basically saying I didn't like the pick, and you know, I sent it to Big Mike, man, and Big Mike, you know, he invited me on too, man. So I did a few shows with Big Mike, man, and then, you know, that's the first time I met Chris. So Chris kind of knew me from then, and then, you know, like a lot of people has been, you know, willing to work with me for whatever reason, right? They've been, you know, reaching out, and, you know, so I didn't have like a super, like a lot of people had to grind from the bottom and like get their, like I was fortunate enough where people were like reaching out to me like, yo, bro, you want to hop on the show with me? Oh man, I'd love to have you on the show. Like I saw you do this with this person, man. You want to come on with me? So I was very fortunate in that respect to like get a lot of people that were willing to lend me their platform, and that helped me like grow faster than a lot of other people, just for the simple fact that, you know, I already had very established people that were kind of co-signing me as a content creator.
Yeah, for sure. How did you link up with 805 and Chris?
So man, Chris, like I said, Chris, I did that show with Big Mike. That was like one of the very first times, might have been the very first time I was ever on YouTube. Was, you know, I was on a panel. It was me, Chris, Big Mike. I think we had Raiders Primos on there. I think it was one more person. Might have been Kane Town. Like, you know, so that was like one of the first times I was on YouTube. So like that kind of put me on. Like I had already seen Chris's content before because he had the Hugh Jackson interview. So, you know, I used to love my dog Hugh Jackson. He had a few other interviews. So I was already like aware of his channels, but I guess that put me on his radar. So you know, we end up linking up later on to do some work. But 805. I had the show with Pharaoh, and then he reached out to us on Twitter about doing a draft show last year, and we hooked up in Vegas and did a draft show at the Ahern, and we just kind of stayed in contact after that. And then I think him and Chris, like, they were in contact, and then, you know, we just kind of we linked up one time. You know, the show went well, so we was like, man, let's just keep it going. So we started from there.
Yeah, for sure. Randy, you want to go ahead and ask the next question?
Yeah. So you already know what it is, man. You know, we talk all the time, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, regardless of it, man, you already know it's respect to you and your content. How you 805 and Chris always do things, man. You already know, bro. We always gonna share everything y'all do. But what would you want to see going forward more in the content game as far as this, because I feel like it's getting bigger. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like this content thing getting bigger. A lot of people, you know, finding a niche, whatever the case. But at the same time, I feel like it's just a lot of people just out here just doing whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but what would you want to see more in the content game going forward?
Just in terms of like different kinds of videos, or like in what regard?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's different kind of videos, maybe how content creators move about things. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe how we collab, just anything you feel like man, you
Yeah.
feel like I want radio
Yeah.
content creators to move this way or whatever the case.
Yeah, man. First of all, number one thing is that I think a lot of people that they make stuff too personal, right? Like I
Mhm.
cannot like a player, and and they're, oh man, you hate this guy. Like, no, I don't hate the person. I just don't like this particular player. Like, I don't think he's a good player. That's not me speaking on him as a human being or as an individual or what he does outside of those white lines. Like that's just him as a football player. So, I think we got to allow people room to be able to criticize these players and then not be personal. And then like not personalize it between content creators, right? Like if I have a take on a player and it's a player you like it's not me saying like fuck you, like are you stupid? It's just me saying like, yo, I disagree. And
Yeah,
there should be room for disagreement. And I think,
Yeah.
too many people like that it's not enough room or not enough room for disagreement. And then especially me, I'm not familiar with how this goes in other content spaces and with other teams and other genres of content creation. So I can only speak to how things are in Raider content, but it seems to be like a lot of gatekeeping where like people, like if you've attained a certain level of success, you think you're above everybody else, or you think like, hey, you know what, like you're somehow better than them or you're above them. And like I just don't feel that's the case. I mean, there are people
that's a
that
fact.
there are people who with less subscribers than me that are more knowledgeable or could do this better than me. And there are people who have way more subscribers than me who I know I'm better than. So I don't think like how much success you've attained as of yet is any indication of how knowledgeable you are or what you bring or what you provide to the community and to the fan base. I think it's room for all of us, and it seems that there are certain pockets where it's a lot of gatekeeping, man. So I like to see us all be able to, as a community who all love this team, a team that's been struggling. So that speaks to the kind of loyalty
Yeah.
you have to stick to this team for as long as we all have. I think we should show that same kind of loyalty to each other, and I don't think that's been the case.
I
Facts.
100% agree with that, bro.
Yeah, facts for sure. Let me ask you this. Tell us what do you have going on right now? Is there anything that we need to be kind of looking out for? That's potentially coming in the future or in the near future.
Yeah, man. Well, so, you guys already know me. You kind of give me a shout out at the beginning of the show, man. But every Tuesday I got two show. It's two show Tuesdays for Severe, man. I got the Raider War Room, and then I got 50-50 with my guy Pharaoh. And then on Thursdays, as you were just a guest on, we got Around the Shield going. And then on Sundays, me, Chris, and 805, we link back up for the Raider War Room as well. I've been trying to find time to do a solo show. A lot of people have been saying like, "Hey, man, you got to do some solo shows. You got to do solo shows." But it's just, just with I'm a dad too, and my son's in. He's if he's not in football season, we're training them, getting ready for football season. So just about any free time I have, it's either I'm working or I'm being a dad. So it's kind of hard to find that time in there. But I plan on like if it's even if it's not a live, if it's like some pre-records, I plan on doing some more solo stuff soon.
Cool.
That's gonna be fire, bro. That's gonna be fire. You already know, man. You need them graphics. Let me know.
Man, for sure, man.
Let me know.
Yeah. So make sure you guys look out for Severe stuff. And if you haven't subscribed to him already, make sure you guys go ahead and click the link down below under the description. We do have that posted up for sure. So make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow to go ahead and watch that fire content from Severe and everybody else that he rocks with for sure. Yeah, that's pretty much the show. Again, we want to go ahead and thank everyone for pulling up with us on this Saturday morning, for sure. Really quick for next week, we will not be going on unless we're able to go ahead and get a special guest to go ahead and come on. But we do have the event in Bakersfield. I will be attending.
Bakersfield thing, yeah.
Bakersfield event. I will be attending, so I will be there. If anybody's going, let me know. Hit me up on socials. Hit me up on the chat. Let me know. I'm definitely down to go ahead and link up. I think you're going too, right, Sylvia?
Yeah, I'll be there too. Me and 805, we don't have a table set up. We'll probably be next to my dog Leo. That's another guy. Make sure y'all hit up Leo as well. Fire content
Yeah,
over there too.
that's my guy right there. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have a Leo. Leo got some of the cleanest rated merch you'll ever see, man. So make sure y'all tap in with him. Me and 805, we're gonna be doing some raffles, man. So if you subscribe that day, you can enter a raffle, man. We got some cool prizes going on, man. So make sure y'all tap in.
Yeah,
That's
for
dope,
sure.
bro. That's dope.
Yeah. Speaking of merch, I got some merch dropping too, so I'll have some merch
Facts.
on that
For
day.
sure.
I got a show shirt, and then I got another shirt that's going to be coming out. I do have it on my socials, so make sure you guys go ahead and let me know if you guys want one. I'm doing pre-orders right now, but I'll have them available for the event. If you are going, hit me up. Definitely go ahead and take care of you guys for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up to that. But since that event's going on, we will not be doing a show next week, but we do have another one planned for the week after that for sure. So
100%.
everything all moving forward the week after the summer kickoff for sure. But other than
y'all
that,
be safe over there at that event, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Run down and pop out to something soon, man. Y'all already know. Until then, man, we keep it here,
man.
Yeah. And hey, we might you run. We might do something. I'm trying to work on something with Leo. So since I'm gonna be out there, man, I try to take advantage of the time where I'm
Come on, man.
back
Yeah,
home,
you already know what time it is, bro. We're gonna make something happen.
We're gonna make something happen. We're gonna figure it out. Yes, sir.
Fire.
But other than that, again, appreciate everyone who's pulled up to the show. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and head over and hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you're feeling what you're hearing and you love the Good Morning Radio Show. We're bringing fire guests week after week without fail. But make sure you guys definitely tap in, turn on notifications for sure. Anytime news drops, we go on, so you don't want to be left in the dark. But other than that, again, appreciate everyone pulling up. We'll see you guys
2 weeks.
Not next week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks
see
from
y'all
now.
in 2 weeks, man.
I know. I was about to say next week, but I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for sure. I might do a live. You never know.
Hey, do you
I'll
think?
probably do it off of my phone, but it will not be a Good Morning Raider show. That's for sure.
Do you think?
I do a show, but I'll definitely pop in with you and 805 and guys over at Radio Nation Live. I'll go ahead and tap in as well. But thank you guys, and we'll go ahead and see you next time. And just Raiders, baby.
Peace.
All right. Peace. What up, low? What is good? What is none other than our God.